Most traders will lose all their money, and it has nothing to do with their strategy. It's not because they aren't smart, and it's not because the market is rigged. They fail because they walk right into the same psychological traps that have been blowing up accounts for decades. They chase fast money, turn a blind eye to their own emotional flaws, and get steamrolled by the market, only to blame everyone but themselves. This video is about the 7 brutal truths you have to accept to survive. This isn't about a magic indicator. It's about rebuilding your mindset from a gambler into a disciplined professional. Let's get into truth number 1. You've probably heard the terrifying statistic that around 95% of active traders fail. Studies show most quit within the first couple of years, not because their strategies were broken, but because their own mind was their worst enemy. You can have the most profitable strategy in the world, but it's worthless if you don't have the mental grit to actually follow it. This game is a deep psychological challenge. The 7 truths we're about to cover are the foundation of what separates the few who make it from the many who don't. These are the lessons the market will teach you, one way or another. You can accept them now, or you can pay the market to hammer them into you, one painful loss at a time. Trading success starts with radical acceptance of uncertainty, of loss, and of your own emotional baggage. This is the mindset reset that separates the survivors from the statistics. The first truth. Losses are a guaranteed cost of business. The first and most critical truth to swallow is that losses aren't just possible, they are an absolute, unavoidable, and guaranteed part of doing business. Every single pro trader, no exceptions, takes losses. The difference is they don't fear them, they plan for them. The amateur trader is crippled by loss aversion. Psychologically, the pain of losing money feels about twice as strong as the pleasure of an equivalent gain. This is exactly why beginners cling to losing trades, praying for a turnaround, but snatch their winning trades off the table at the first hint of profit. They haven't accepted that a loss is just a business expense, like inventory for a shop. Instead, they take it as a personal failure, a direct hit to their intelligence. This is where your ego becomes your worst enemy. Your ego whispers, "You can't be wrong, you did the research," and convinces you to shove your stop loss just a little further down. That's a fast track to disaster. The market does not care about your ego, your opinion, or your analysis. It will punish arrogance without mercy. Radically accepting this truth changes everything. You stop seeing losses as failures and start seeing them as tuition paid to the market for a lesson. You start to get that your job isn't to avoid losses, but to manage them. This is why pros are obsessed with risk management. They know exactly how much they're willing to lose before they even click the button, often risking no more than 1% of their capital on a single idea. Accepting losses isn't being negative, it's freedom. It's the only way to trade without fear and hope clouding your every move. Second, mastery takes years, not weeks. The second brutal truth, getting consistently profitable in trading, is a marathon, not a sprint. The fantasy of quick riches is one of the most dangerous traps you can fall into as a new trader. Many beginners get a taste of what feels like beginner's luck. They catch a good move or two, their account spikes, and they feel like a genius. This early success is often the worst thing that can happen because it pumps them full of a lethal dose of overconfidence. They start thinking they've cracked the code or have some special gift. That euphoria leads them to take ridiculously large positions, forget about risk management, and inevitably give all their profits back to the market. They don't blow up their account from ignorance, they blow it up from arrogance. The professional trader knows this is a long game. They focus on the process, not the daily profits. While the amateur is chasing hot stock tips and get-rich-quick systems, the pro is patiently backtesting, journaling every single trade, and analyzing their own psychological patterns. They know that building the habits of discipline and patience is the real work. It's tedious, it's boring, and it's completely unglamorous, which is why most people will never do it. You have to be willing to spend years doing the boring work you're probably trying to avoid right now, so reset your expectations. Your goal in the first few years isn't to make a fortune, your goal is to survive. Learn, build discipline, and just stay in the game long enough for your edge to play out over hundreds, if not thousands of trades. Third, the market doesn't exist, you are trading yourself. This might be the most profound truth on the list. You're not trading stocks, crypto, or futures. You are trading your own beliefs, fears, and hopes about the future. The market is just a giant mirror, reflecting your own internal state back at you with brutal honesty. Every trader brings their personal baggage to the screen. If you're an impatient person in life, you'll be an impatient trader. If you constantly seek validation, you'll chase trades that everyone else is talking about. If you have a deep-seated fear of being wrong, you'll cut your winners short and let your losers bleed out. Trading will expose every single emotional flaw you have. Amateur traders think their enemy is the market. They talk about fighting the trend or how the market is out to get them. Professionals understand the real battle is internal. They know that raw emotions like fear, greed, hope, and frustration are the real account killers. Fear makes you freeze up on a perfect setup. Greed convinces you to hold a winner way past your target, only to watch it reverse and turn into a loser. Hope makes you move your stop loss because you just feel like it's going to come back. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean you stop feeling them. That's impossible. It means you build a system of rules, a trading plan that operates despite your emotions. Your trading plan is your shield. It has non-negotiable rules for your entries, your exits, and your risk. When you have a clear plan, there's no room for feelings to take the wheel. The plan makes the decisions, not your emotions. You don't need to outsmart the market, you need to outdiscipline yourself. Fourth, your strategy is a statistical edge, not a crystal ball. Here's the fourth truth: no strategy on earth can predict the future, not a single one. The market is an environment of pure, unfiltered uncertainty. As the legendary trading coach Mark Douglas taught, anything can happen at any moment. Beginners are on a perpetual hunt for the Holy Grail, a perfect system that never loses. They get frustrated when a setup that worked 5 times in a row fails on the 6th try. They see this as a flaw in the strategy and immediately start system hopping, jumping from one new shiny object to the next, never mastering anything. A professional thinks in probabilities, not certainties. They understand that a trading strategy, or edge, is simply a sign that one thing is slightly more likely to happen than another over a huge number of trades. That's it. An edge doesn't tell you what will happen on the next trade. It only tells you that if you take that same setup 1,000 times, you should come out ahead. There's a random distribution between wins and losses. You could have 10 losing trades in a row and still have a wildly profitable strategy in the long run. When you truly get this, the emotional roller coaster of trading starts to flatten out. A perfect setup fails. You don't feel betrayed because you always knew it was a possibility. A few wins in a row, you don't get cocky because you know they're just part of a random sequence. You learn to execute your plan without hesitation, trusting the process over the outcome of any single trade. Your job isn't to be a fortune teller. Your job is to be the casino, to relentlessly apply your edge and let the odds work in your favor over time. Fifth, you must learn to do nothing. In a world that screams do more, move faster, one of the most profitable skills a trader can learn is the discipline of doing nothing. The biggest mistake for most traders is overtrading, feeling like they have to be in the market at all times. This urge usually comes from boredom, a need for a little excitement, or the gnawing feeling that every second you're on the sidelines, you're missing a winning move. This is FOMO, the fear of missing out, and it has destroyed more trading accounts than almost any other feeling. It forces you to chase trades that have already left the station, making you buy high and sell low. The other driver is revenge trading. After a loss, the amateur feels this overwhelming need to jump right back in and make the money back. This isn't trading, it's gambling on tilt. You're no longer following a plan, you're just throwing money at the market based on raw emotion, and the market will gladly take it from you. Professional traders can go hours, even days, doing absolutely nothing. They understand their money is made in the waiting, not the trading. They sit patiently until the market delivers a high-quality setup that meets every single one of their rules. If that setup doesn't show up, they're perfectly happy to sit on their hands. They know that not being in a trade is a position, and often, it's the most profitable one you can have. Protecting your capital from garbage setups is just as important as making money from A-plus setups. Trading doesn't reward you for being busy, it rewards you for your patience. Sixth, complexity is the enemy of execution. The sixth truth is a bit of a paradox. Sometimes, the more you learn, the harder trading gets. Amateurs often believe that more indicators, more rules, and more complexity will lead to better results. Their charts are a tangled mess of lines and oscillators. This complexity feels like you're being smart, but it's often just fear wearing a lab coat. It leads directly to analysis paralysis, where you're so buried in conflicting signals that you can't pull the trigger on anything. I once had pages of notes just to find a single setup, and my results were going nowhere. I finally realized I wasn't stuck because I didn't know enough. I was stuck because I didn't know what to ignore. Successful traders live by simplicity. They know a complex strategy is nearly impossible to execute consistently when you're under pressure. Their edge is usually built on a few core market principles they've mastered over years. They focus on execution, not endless analysis. A good trading plan should be so simple you can follow it without thinking, even when your heart is pounding and fear is screaming in your ear. If your strategy is too complicated to follow in the heat of the moment, it's useless. The goal isn't to create a perfect, all-knowing system. The goal is to find a simple, robust edge that you can execute flawlessly again and again. Strip away the noise, focus on one strategy, one market, one timeframe, master it. Simplicity leads to clarity, and clarity leads to confident execution. 7. You are 100% responsible for your results. The final and most empowering truth is this: your success or failure as a trader is entirely on you. It's not your broker, it's not some market-moving whale, it's not a rigged game. Every single outcome is a direct result of the decisions you made. This is a harsh reality that most people just can't stomach. It's so much easier to blame something external than to look in the mirror and own your mistakes. Amateurs who lose money say, the market was being crazy. Professionals who lose money say, I mismanaged my risk or I didn't follow my plan. The amateur blames the world, the pro takes full ownership. This isn't about beating yourself up, it's about empowerment. The moment you accept 100% responsibility, you give yourself the power to change. You can't control the market, but you can control your preparation, your risk, and your discipline. The single best tool for this is a trading journal. Document every trade, why you got in, why you got out, and how you felt. This forces you to confront your screw-ups and identify your bad habits. Are you always cutting winners too soon? Are you revenge trading after every loss? The journal makes your patterns undeniable. Accepting total responsibility is the final leap from being a gambler to being a professional. A gambler hopes to get lucky. A professional runs a business, and they're the CEO. They take credit for the wins, and more importantly, they take ownership of the failures, because they know every failure is a lesson in disguise. If this video helped you, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for more real talk on trading psychology. And drop a comment below letting me know which of these 7 truths you struggle with the most. I guarantee you're not alone. The journey of a trader isn't about finding the perfect system, it's about surviving yourself. It's a long, often brutal process of unlearning bad habits and rebuilding your mind from scratch. The market doesn't punish you loudly with one big explosion, it punishes you quietly with years of going nowhere. But if you embrace these brutal truths, if you accept that losses are guaranteed, that mastery takes years, that you are trading your own emotions, that your strategy is just a probability, that waiting is a skill, that simplicity is king, and that you are completely responsible for your results, you will build a mental foundation that can withstand anything the market throws at you. You'll have what it takes to shift from being part of the 95% who fail and join the few who endure. Trade smart and always put your mind first.